You see, we are in week 4 of a message series that we're calling Unshakable Faith. And here's what we're going to be taking a look at today, that sometimes in life, you and I come across situations in which our faith is tested. In other words, we find ourselves in a difficult and challenging situation that by its nature challenges our faith. And as people of faith, sometimes it's like we pass the test. For example, hey, a few years ago you say, I was going through major transitions in my life. I was moving across the country. I was changing jobs. And through it all, I had faith that God was going to lead me to where he wanted me to go. And the ride was a little bumpy along the way, but at the end of the day, I never lost faith that God had me exactly where he wanted me to be. Right? We passed the test. Or how about this when you say, hey, you know what, a few years ago, our family was looking to buy a house, and we put an offer on our dream home, and we didn't get it. And we said, that's okay. God's going to lead us to the right house. And a few weeks later, we put in another offer on a house that we really liked, and we didn't get that one either. And we said, that's okay. God's going to lead us to the right house. And finally, a few weeks after, we put an offer on a house, and we got it, and we give thanks to God that he has given us a roof over our heads. Right? Sometimes we come across situations that test our faith, and it's like we pass the test. But then there are other situations, man, it feels like we fail the test, or maybe we don't do as well as we hoped that we would do. Like, for example, you say, hey, there was a season of my life where I had this mantra, God is good all the time, God is good. And man, I loved saying that. I told people that all the time. My faith in God was strong. Until recently, a family member of mine has a terminal illness, and I'm watching her hurt and suffer, and it hurts me to see her this way, and I'm overwhelmed. In fact, I can't even walk into a church because I'm so angry with God. At this point in my life, I'm just not sure that I can trust that God is good, at least not all the time. Or how about this when you say, hey, God, you know, my spouse and I remember the day that we stood before you on the altar and we said that we would be together for better or for worse. And for the first few years, man, we experienced the better part. But these past few years, it feels like we have the worst part. We have these kids that have issues, and we got stressful jobs and family drama and financial issues, and I just can't handle all of it. God, I know that you have plans for me, but certainly this can't be it. Certainly this isn't what you want for my life. You see, friends, sometimes we come across situations and it's like we fail the test, or we don't do as well as we hope that we would do. But you know what? Here's where I want to encourage you this morning. James, the brother of Jesus and one of the writers of the New Testament, he says that the testing of your faith is inherently a good thing. That whether you pass or you fail or you don't do as well as you hope that you could do, James says it is good for your faith to be tested. And here's why. Take a look at what he says. He says, because you know that the testing of your faith produces what? Perseverance. In other words, when your faith is tested, whether you pass or you fail or you don't do as well as you hope that you would do, all of those outcomes help prepare you for situations and tests of faith that you will have in the future. That the situation you deal with today will help strengthen your faith for the situation that you're going to deal with tomorrow.